Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Mixed Up with TGM YouTube channel. If this is your first time, thank you for stopping by. I truly appreciate it. This is not your first time. Thank you for coming back. And I appreciate you revisiting as often as you do. If you don't know, or if you do know, let me reintroduce myself. My name's Tyler. I run a few small social media accounts under the name Mixed Up with TGM. It's where we do reviews, we work with brands, we create drink menus, we create cocktails, we have fun, the good stuff. In addition, I have a private event bartending company, and that company goes by the name of TGM Bartending. Behind me, it's my bar. I have a minimal cover charge to get into my bar. Basically, if you think I'm funny, if you like me, if you found something that you might find useful, recommend your friends to my channels. Maybe they'll comment, like, whatever. Anyway, the intro's out of the way. Let's talk about why you're really here. You want to hear my thoughts on whiskey or some sort of spirit. Today I'm going to talk about a particular whiskey that came in my October Rackhouse Whiskey Club box. If you're not familiar with Rackhouse Whiskey Club, a couple of cool dudes, they travel around the country to small craft distilleries, and they tell stories. They tell stories of the distilleries. Every other month, you're going to get a box containing 1 or 2 bottles. That depends on which plan you choose. And with that, you're going to get a gift from the distillery. If you're interested, I have a code. It's going to save you a little bit of change. If you're not, just keep up with my channel. October's box brought us to Molly Brown Spirits. Molly Brown sits on the edge of Denver, Colorado. If you didn't know, like I didn't know, Colorado actually has close to 300 or more days of sunshine a year. This amount of sun actually allows Molly Brown to produce the perfect bourbon. I mean, that's what they tell me. I don't know. The water from the snow in the Rockies, it melts and it gives their grains unique nutrients. And that same water gives their bourbons a pure and crisp taste. The folks at Molly Brown actually mill the grains, cook the grains, ferment the grains, and distill the grains. They use brand new charred American oak barrels, and all of their bourbons are grained to glass. And they do everything themselves except grow the grain. They even handcraft all the equipment used in the distillery. It's crazy. Now, let's get into the bourbons. I'll see you in a minute. I'm going to jump behind this bar, and we're going to get things moving. See you soon. First thing I want to point out about the Molly Brown distillery bourbons are the bottles. These bottles are beautiful. They're fantastic. I love them. They're heavy. They're nice. I feel like when you're done with them, you could almost make a decanter out of them, and nobody would ever know. I think it'd be great. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's try the bourbon first. I'm gonna put the mash bill somewhere. You'll see it. It'll pop up. Anyway, let's try it. I'm leaving the high rye bourbon for last because I really like rye. And of the two, this one is the one that's really stood out to me more than this one. I've tried each of these once or twice, and I get something different every time. I really do. So this will be probably the third time I've tried each. I think they're great. I think they're great. There's nothing else I can say about them, but let's see what we pick up. Give a quick swirl. It's corn up front. Right on the top of that is corn. Don't worry about this mess over here. It's going to get cleaned up sometime. It's just a big, huge mess. Anyway, it's corn. Heavy corn, and you can see by the mash bill that it's no surprise that it's heavy corn. So anyway, it's got a nice, it's kind of like a copper, kind of almost like a copper, almost like a beer color on this. So anyway, all I'm getting on the front is barley and the corn. So let's give it a try. Corn on the palate, no spice, no burn. It's pretty basic all the way through. If you really taste it, it's real simple. It's corn on the front, it's corn on the palate, it's corn when it finishes with like hardly no spice. It really is a good bourbon. I appreciate this bourbon. I really do. I really like it. So yeah, there's no flavors on this other than, in my opinion, the corn and like you get the corn and the grain is really all I taste in this. Anyway, it's beautiful. It really is. It's just a beautiful bourbon. All right, let's get into the rye. The rye is just as fantastic in my opinion. Again, beautiful bottle. Look at that coloring though. That coloring is almost like reminds me of a flat soda, is what that coloring reminds me of, like flat soda. Corn and the rye right on top. That's it, like corn and rye. It's so corn and rye heavy that how can I get anything else? I mean, there's a little bit of, I can get a little bit of like pepper on there, but that pepper is overrun by the corn and the rye. It's just, it's a beautiful smell. Again, you get the rye, you get the corn on the front. As it starts to settle and make its way to the back, I'm getting some cinnamon and I'm getting a little bit of that spice. I'm getting a little bit of that burn from the rye. But it's very, very subtle. The more and more I drink it, the less subtle the spice is. So the more I drink it, the less subtle the spice is. It's just it's a nice, clean, crisp, pure rye taste. Very, very peppery and rye heavy. Cinnamon, pepper, rye heavy. Can't go wrong with either one of these, to be honest with you. Even if you have them on your shelves to look at, these whiskeys will make a beautiful addition to your collection. Guys, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you tuning in. It means so much to me. I wish I could tell you. If you want more information or if you want to see more frequently, I'm on TikTok quite a bit. I do the first unboxing and tasting of all of my Rackhouse Whiskey Club stuff on TikTok. And I'll post it to Instagram, but mostly it's on TikTok. And then I redo it on YouTube. So anyway, thank you. I appreciate your time, and I'll catch you next time.